I have wondered if the stories are true about the links between autism and vaccines. According to the Center for Disease Control, IOM, and many other MDs and PhDs, there is no link between the two, based on many studies. I was curious about the links, if there were any between autism and the vaccinations that our children receive, as this has been a highly publicized matter. If we do not vaccinate our children, are we exposing them to much worse diseases that could even possibly be deadly? So as parents, are we willing to put them at risk of getting these? I would like to first tell you about what autism is and how vaccines are beneficial, and about one ingredient that is in vaccines that some think linked are to autism. Then I will tell you about why there is no supported link between the two. Many people with ASD are much more intelligent than what we think, even though this autism can be a scary diagnosis. Autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a developmental delay or disorder that causes behavioral, social, and communication barriers. It can also cause challenges that will affect how the child can and will communicate to their caregivers, siblings, and any other people in their lives that they may come into contact with. There are many levels on the spectrum, from highly functioning that need little to no assistance, and those that need complete and total 24/7 care. Many of the children as adults that live with ASD are extremely intelligent and have limited ability to communicate with others. People with autism may not want to be touched, be unable to communicate with others. They may not speak or react when spoken to. They may have a spacey or zoned out look, or even repeat words and actions over and over. While they have these barriers, they also have a unique way all of their own to achieve what they need. The next thing I would like to talk to you about are vaccines and what they are used for and how they protect us and our children from diseases, as well as society as a whole. For many years we have used vaccines to help protect us from many different diseases, some that will just make us sick and others that can be life-threatening. According to NIAID, it is more cost efficient to prevent disease than it is to treat it. Therefore, vaccines are beneficial. While vaccines help protect us from getting sick or worse, they also keep diseases from spreading to others if we get sick. A vaccine is meant to build up our immune system, which we all have, but vaccines make stronger. Some of us have compromised immune systems, and they especially need the vaccines to maintain a baseline of health. If too many people go unvaccinated, then many of the diseases that have been almost eradicated can return, and they can also mutate, making the disease much harder to treat, if it is possible. The measles is one of those diseases that is making a huge comeback currently, where the largest number of the population has gone unvaccinated. So vaccines are so good for us. Are there any risks involved? There has been a debate among many, leading to many parents not vaccinating their children, thus putting their children and many others at risk for developing diseases. Is there a link between the vaccinations and autism? Many have said yes, but research does not support these accusations. There have been many studies on this particular question that have lasted over 10 years and have not found a single link. According to IOM, the Institute of Medicine, that looked at 8 different vaccines that children and adults receive, they are extremely safe to receive, and there are very few, if any, that had minimal reaction to any of the vaccines tested in this study. While the CDC studied the antigens, which are the substances in vaccines that allow our immune system to get stronger and build a resistance to the disease, they are intended to protect us from. According to the CDC, one ingredient in particular that is in the vaccines is why people are concerned about it. This is called thermosil. Thermosil is a mercury-based preservative that is used to prevent the contamination of multi-dose vials in vaccines. The IOM has found that there were no causal relationships between thermosal and ASD. Since 2003, there have been 9 CDC-funded and or conducted studies on this, and all have found no links between the two. Eventually, to put the back and forth of this argument to the rest, the CDC had thermosal removed or reduced in quantity from all children's vaccines as well as some flu vaccines. I have found that, like many parents, I am protective of my children and just want them to be healthy. So after all this, I will continue to vaccinate my children as long as we do our due diligence. We can find the information we need to keep us healthy and well informed. Thus, autism is a scary diagnosis, but has no factual links to vaccines or their ingredients. According to the CDC and the IOM, which are substantial and reliable sources for this information and health, they also have a main purpose of keeping diseases contained and developing new vaccines for that purpose. After doing all of this research, there is no credible links between the two. Also, that as publicized as this topic is, there seems to be no facts, just the rumored stories on the news. So as parents, we need to keep our children healthy by vaccinating them and finding the facts that are reported with this, keeping diseases from spreading. In conclusion, I have found that there are no credible sources or reliable information that links autism and vaccines. I have found that the benefits of vaccines far outweigh the risks of not being vaccinated. That if we stay well informed on factual information, we can make educated and well informed decisions. Thank you.